Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to another stream from Hugo's desk. Welcome everyone. I can see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Hopefully everyone can hear me well. Hopefully so. Some familiar faces aren't here, so thank you so much for sticking around. As always, I'm streaming simultaneously on YouTube and also on Twitch at the same time. So it depends on which one you prefer. So you could watch it on YouTube. That's where the majority of people are at the moment. And usually the chat on YouTube is a bit more lively. So you can stay in YouTube if you want, or if you want, you can stay on Twitch as well. It's up to you. I stream on both places at the same time because I know some people prefer Twitch and some prefer for YouTube. But just so you know, if you're on Twitch and you don't see a lot of people on the chat, keep in mind that they might be on YouTube. So today is the radio show. This is all about you guys, really. So as you know, we do these radio shows. This is our 7th radio show, actually. And it's been fantastic. I've really been enjoying it, listening to the audience and talking with the community. And really, we've discussed so many topics. And so I'm still kind of debating if I put a topic or not. At the moment, we don't have a topic today, so I'm completely open to just suggestions. The only thing people need to do is they need to call in, and this is just like a radio show. They can submit their topic, and we can talk about it. I just, of course, ask everyone to be constructive and to be positive and nice, and to basically, let's just chat about the industry and we can talk about visual effects, we can talk about CGI, we can talk about AI, we can talk about machine learning, we can talk about the state of the industry, or we can just talk about a particular film or something that you have in mind. It really doesn't matter. This is the whole point, is for the radio show. So a bit of just a little quick shout out and housekeeping for certain things. So as you know, today we're doing the call-in radio show. I know we were supposed to do this last week as well, but last week I wasn't really feeling up for it, and so I didn't do it. We'll see. I might do it next week again. We'll see how this goes. So that's the radio show that we're doing right now. Don't forget as well that I believe we're also doing a giveaway at the end of the stream, as we usually do. So this giveaway is for my Nuke course. So if you want to set up for that giveaway, you have the link on the screen. You also have a QR code on the screen, and you can also click on the link that I've just posted on the chat, on both chats, both on Twitch and on YouTube as well. So that's it. Also I wanted to just mention really quickly that you can also, if you should wait until the end, of course, but my course is still available. A lot of people asked me about this, if the course is updated, and I'm currently doing that, actually. So the course is being updated as we speak, and so I'm now recording classes for Nuke 16. I've announced this to my students, and so there will be a lot of new updated classes. I'm not deleting the old classes at all, so the old classes will still be there. Because I think some of them have a lot of core skills that are still very important. But there is a substantial amount of classes that we are going to drop with updated classes. And this will be like talking about some of the new group tools, talking about the machine learning tools. Also like some classes about the new interface as well, and some of the 3D systems changes since Nuke 15. So there's quite a lot of new classes dropping. I'm kind of already recording them. I'm also, if you join the Discord channel, you can check out what's happening there. I've been updating everyone. Thank you so much, Ostel, for watching my course. Thank you so much. You're in the 10th week. Well, you are almost there then, my friend. Good luck with everything. So I just wanted to mention that to everyone. And also, before we even dive in, I just wanted to really do a big shout out to our podcast, my podcast with Ian. We just dropped a really massive episode. This is the largest episode we've just made. So this is the Dune Part 2 episode. It's actually as long as the film. And I do apologize about that, but there was a lot of things to talk about the film. And It's on YouTube right now, available. It's doing really well. A lot of people are really enjoying it. A lot of nice comments, and it's really great to see the community helping us so much with this and supporting it so much. And if you enjoy our podcast, don't forget that we do have a specific Patreon for the podcast. And this podcast Patreon has specific episodes that are not public to anyone. So if you want, you can just join on the link I put on the chat here. And as you can see, there's some of the episodes already. We have an episode about Twisters. We have an episode about Gladiator 2. We have a special episode about Wicked, a special episode about Planet of the Apes. Also a special episode about Deadpool versus Wolverine. Civil War as well. There's already 9 episodes that you cannot watch on YouTube. You can only watch if you support the show on Patreon. It's quite cheap as well. It's only $3 a month, and you get you basically get all the episodes available. So as soon as you pay the $3, you can watch them all. So if you like our show, I really would, ask you from the bottom of my heart to support the show so that we can continue doing the podcast. As I told you before in the past on some streams, we've lost the sponsors we had on the podcast, and so it's been quite difficult from a financial point of view to run the podcast. And so any support would be very welcome so that we can continue doing the podcast, because I know a lot of people really love the podcast, and at least that's what the messages we get from everyone. So again, if you're supporting the podcast, thank you so much for that. Anyway, let's just jump into the radio show. As always, you guys probably already know how this works. I'm going to drop in a link. It's going to be a Google Meet link, and it's only audio. I'm not going to do video. There's no point of you doing video because it's an audio podcast. It's like a radio show. And so the link is there. Obviously, this is first come, first serve. If you have a topic you want to discuss, if you have something you want to talk about, you can join in. I'm going to try my best to keep track of all the topics, and I'll also keep track of who's first showing up basically on the contributors on the call. So I'll just keep an eye on who's showing first. And yeah, so feel free to join in. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for people to join in, there was a question already before. It's gone, the question. Actually, Mr. Habishek had a question before about, I think it was about Rotway and Paint, but you've removed the question, so maybe you don't want to ask the question again. So if you do want to ask the question, you can always either come into the show or you can ask the question again, and I'll try to answer it. But the question is gone, so I can't really answer you anymore. So, any takers for the show? Anyone wants to join in? Any topic is allowed, of course. Remember, it doesn't need to be anything specific about the VFX industry. It can be really any topic. I just want to talk with the audience and talk with our community, and see where the conversation leads us. So, anyone wants to join? I can see that there's a lot of quite a lot of people watching. So I know it's some people don't like to join in on the audio call, but don't worry, we have a lovely community. No one is gonna complain about anything. People love the show and they really show our support. So don't be afraid, you can join. Anyone at all wants to join the show? Don't leave me hanging. Come on, don't do that. You guys did that to me on the showreel reviews. But yeah. Or a question. If you can't join as an audio podcast, as an audio radio show, you can always write the question. So, yeah. Ostislav on Twitch says, and about the course, I still have what to do and so much more, so thank you. I love the lessons, but now I don't even have enough time for it. I'm an intern doing rotoscoping 5 days a week. By the way, I like my company job. Well, congratulations that you have a job right now, and well done. And don't worry, the course is there. You can always watch it whenever you can. Okay, so, cool. I have a contender, so let's just bring them in. and see what happens here. I'm gonna bring in Peter here and see if he wants to join. Just give me a second, Peter. Oh, you have a lovely cat here. Do you mind if I show it on the screen? Is that okay?
No, that's fine. No, it's Frolly. She's like 21. She'll be 22 later this year.
22. Oh
Yes.
my God, that's insane. 22. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the screen because I think people are gonna love that, watching that. There you go. I know it's a bit small because it's a vertical thing, but what's her name?
Frolly.
Frolly. Okay. That's cool, Frolly. 22. Oh my God, my cats unfortunately died. One died when they were 16. The other one was, I believe 15 or 16. I can't remember really. And I thought that was already a very long age, but damn, that's 21. 22 is amazing.
Yes. Right, for your audience, we've spoken a couple of times before, Hugo, but I'm in the Southwest UK, filmmaker and editor, and a fully fledged member of the Guild of Television Camera Professionals. Been around VFX for a while. I was involved, at least at basic level, in the compositing of the drone swarm at Hogmanay 2020 in Edinburgh, because whilst the swarm was shown around Edinburgh, it was actually never there. It was never actually flown there. It was flown elsewhere, and we composited it later. So that sort of got me started in that process.
Okay. That's cool, Peter. Yeah, it is right. I think it's the third time you come into the show, so thank you so much again for calling in. Thank you so much. So, Peter, what's on your mind?
Well, I mean, we've spoken about this before, but this Flow movie, which won sort of Blender's a lot of recognition.
Yeah.
I think, because it's currently an open source, sort of free application piece of software. I think others in and around the creative sector are getting, coming off the back of that and increasing their own sort of popularity and presence. When I'm talking in terms of things like vector graphics, Inkscape, it being one, and the other one, which is now a fairly well recognised After Effects equivalent, is called Cavalry, and they're both open source free software.
Okay, I didn't know about Cavalry. I need to go and check that out. I have never heard of that software.
Yeah, it has a professional level which is chargeable, but by the same token, it also has a free. You get the license free of charge. There's no subscription, no fee, and it is a fairly decent motion graphics After Effects equivalent. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube of people going from After Effects to it and saying it's equally as good and a lot better in some areas.
Okay, I had no idea. I've never. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of it, but I'm gonna just put it on the screen so people can see it, so that they know what we're talking about. And so, have you used it a while, and how's it looking?
Yeah, I used to have a full Creative Cloud Adobe subscription with Premiere and After Effects and all of those sorts of things, Illustrator. But when I had my Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra tablet, which I used for a while as a primary device, I had Adobe Rush on there, which was their tablet-based video editor, and they couldn't make up their mind whether they wanted to support it on Android or not, and they kept changing moving the goalpost, changing the criteria. So I sort of found out with them, and then cancelled my Adobe subscription as a whole. I went to Cyberlink for both Android and PC-based video editing and photo editing and so forth with their Director Suite, and I'm now actually an ambassador, if you like, for that product, and also a moderator and a mediator on a Facebook group and a YouTube channel called Power Director University, which is run by a friend of mine based in Texas. So I do a lot of that, so I'm quite involved in that. And then, as that doesn't have motion graphics or vector graphics, that's where sort of Cavalry and Inkscape have stepped in to fill the void. And they are both very good products.
Cool. And so it's basically like much more a graphical, vector-based animation tool, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some crossover between the two because Cavalry's actually got vector graphics capabilities built in, but Inkscape is purely vector graphics.
Inkscape.
So yeah, clearly it has more capability than only a small part of its role effectively in terms of Cavalry is vector graphics, whereas Cavalry really shines for motion graphics.
So Inkscape is from Softonic, right? Is that correct?
So that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the website, but this is not probably not that website. Inkscape. Oh, I'll just go to their Twitter. It doesn't show up on the results right away. On there you go. Now I found it. So it's inkscape.org. Okay, I found it. I think it's this one.
1.4.2 is the latest release of Inkscape.
Yeah,
and it's
okay.
actually really quite good.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely look into this. I didn't know of the existence of these apps. I'm posting them on the chat as well. Of course, everyone, I'm not, I haven't checked them yet, so I'm not recommending them. That's what Peter is doing.
Well,
But
no, exactly.
yeah,
You need to look at them in your own time and
of
come to
course.
draw your own conclusions. But for my part, for what I use it for, I would recommend them to anyone, quite honestly.
Cool. Well, I guess with this, if you think about Peter, with Cavalry and Inkscape, you solve that problem. And then I guess if you think about with Blender on 3D, and then editorial, you can get DaVinci, and then you can get compositing with Fusion. You kind of sorted, I think. You can kind of solve everything really there, isn't it?
Exactly that, yeah. I mean, there are a number of ways to get to actually produce whatever effect or graphic or 3D motion graphics or whatever you're after. There are a number of ways of achieving it. You don't have to look at sort of Nuke and all the rest of them. You can do it in other ways. I mean, Blender, for example, is the software that we use to create the animation for the drone swarms. When I used to do the displays with that, that's a Blender animation pumped through another piece of software, which produces the end result. And in fact, all the drones have no sense and avoid capabilities. They don't know where each other is in the air. All they know is what they're told to do. So you go through a process of what's called uploading paths to each individual drone, and all you're doing effectively is giving it a set of very accurate GPS coordinates and told it to go to that point at a certain time, and then turn the light on underneath the aircraft at a certain color at a certain time, or not, as the case may be. And that's how that system works. And that the initial design for that is purely done in Blender.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, I don't really use open source softwares because I work in the industry, and I've been working in the industry for so long that I'm kind of used to using the softwares. As you guys all know, I use mostly Nuke, and I use After Effects, and I use Photoshop. But it's definitely like a great option right now for you to kind of do some shift.
I mean, one of the comments just come up on the comments on the YouTube is. Inkscape is very usable. The only reason I'm not using it is because I need Adobe compatibility. Well, Inkscape actually has the ability to input and output in Illustrator files.
Oh, that's cool.
And various other formats as well, if you want. I mean, they're adding to that all the time. So, in fact, Inkscape is Adobe compatible.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I'm definitely going to look into that. I mean, from all those softwares, the one that I do use every day is DaVinci. But obviously, I'm not using... I could use the free version of DaVinci, but I don't, because I need like more capability. But even the paid version of DaVinci is so cheap; it's like $200 or something.
Well, exactly,
so I ended up buying it anyway because it was so cheap.
I mean, I use Sony A7S3s most of the time, and they put out 422 10-bit. So you need the paid version of DaVinci for that. Although
exactly.
I don't use it. I actually use Cyberlink Power Director. And I put the files through a handbrake, changing in format slightly first before I pump it into Power Director. But you get the same result. You get 10-bit coloring and color grading and color director and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, cool, Peter. Thanks so much for the suggestion. I know Sajeel here is saying also that he's using Affinity Photo. Affinity Photo is more well known. I know they've been around for a long time. Yes. So I have not used them yet.
The Blender's success recently is just put open source software at the forefront of people's mind, I think. And they
think
are now
so.
looking for alternatives to the major players.
Yeah, I think so too. So that's the one that Sajeel is talking about. Affinity. This one I have heard about,
Yeah.
and I've used. I think I've never used it, but I've installed it and looked into it, and that was it. I think people get used to softwares, and I'm guilty of that as well because I kind of like just keep using the same stuff. But I'm definitely gonna be more attentive to this for sure. I'm gonna look into this, Peter, for sure. Cool, man. Anything else that is on your mind, Peter? Anything else?
Yeah, so I thought I'd just bring those pieces of software up and say, if you've not seen them, you might want to have a look at them and their capabilities and whatnot. But other than that, no, let's hand over to someone else. You see what else they've got to say.
Oh, thanks so much, Peter, and thank you so much for showing us your lovely cat.
Yeah,
I'll see you soon, my friend.
yes,
Okay, bye.
cheers. Bye.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much, Peter, for that. Cool. Well, thanks so much. That was great. I think definitely people need to look into these things, especially now that costs are going up so dramatically. No one can really pay the software costs that you can currently see. It's too expensive. Even Adobe is too expensive, and not to mention Foundry and Nuke. It's just a ridiculous amount of monies that they are requesting for softwares. So I definitely think that the future is going to really either be on these kind of free softwares, or the future is going to really be driven by using subscription-based, cheaper alternatives. I think the model that DaVinci made was really exceptional. I really like what Blackmagic did there, because they have a really cheaper version, which is the professional version, and then they have the free version, which is the non-professional version. And I think hopefully in the future all softwares become like that. I hope so. I really hope that they become like that. So I think the DaVinci approach is really like the best one so far that I've seen from a really powerful piece of software, and they're also so active as well. I'm not saying this just because I like Blackmagic. I mean, they don't pay me, and they're not sponsors, but I think they have a wonderful ethos, and they have a wonderful way of developing their software. It's really powerful as well. Anyway, anyone wants to join? Mr. Abhishek says, can't join because my mic is broken, but I wanted to share my job hunting experience as a fresher. Of course, you can do that. If you want, you can join with your phone. Even this link works on a phone. So even if your microphone is broken, you could click on a phone, and you can just do it as a phone call if you want to. So feel free to think about that, because it works really well as well. I've had multiple people using the phone. You just need to basically use a browser, or if you want, you can use the Google app as well. That's another way of doing it. So you can still join the call if you want to. Anyone else wants to join the call? Anyone else? I really wanted to thank Peter for the topic, the first topic that we got in. But anyone else wants to give it a go on a second topic? You want to join, Vinicius? Yeah, go for it, my friend. Just click on the link, and I'm here. Okay. Okay, let's see if he shows up. Yeah, exactly. Peter was on the phone as well. It works really well. I just tried it just before. So I still need to work out how I'm going to showcase the person that is calling, because you saw that it's a bit awkward. I have these windows. Google Meet is not very customizable, so it's not really easy to do this. But yeah, I'm gonna bring in. Okay, it's not the same name. Oh no! Wait a minute. Oh, sorry. I brought Cartez first, but it actually Andrea was first. But that's fine. I'll do him. I'll do him next. That's fine. Don't worry, Andre. Don't go anywhere. So, Cartez, how are you doing?
Hello. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I'm just gonna
Okay.
Do you mind if I post? Do you mind if I use your webcam? Is that okay?
Yeah. There's no problem. Go
Okay.
for
Cool.
it.
Cool. Thank you for saying that. You can't see me as a webcam. That's because I can't share it at the same time as the stream.
That's all right.
But
That's all right.
everyone can see you now as well. So yeah, well, Vinicius, apologize that you didn't arrived in time, but it's fine. I'll do you after, okay?
I apologize for taking somebody's spot.
No, you didn't.
Won't take
you
too
didn't.
long.
No, you didn't. You were the first one. It's just that
Okay.
Vinicius was saying it on the chat.
All right,
but he didn't click the button in time, so you were the first one. It's first term, first serve. So Cartez, right? Is it Cartez? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Cartez or Carpet Studios inside of the chats that you'll probably see me in back again for another. You guys were talking about like the free open source softwares and things like that. So like I kind of want just to nail the head of the coffin for a little bit on this one. For me personally, for whoever is in here that doesn't know, I'm a freelancer. So I've been freelancing for the past 2 years inside of the Netherlands. And last year I decided to make the switch because I kind of seen where the subscriptions were kind of going. Well, one, I never took Adobe because of the subscriptions. And because I'm a freelancer, I kind of have the freedom to choose what I want to use to get the job done. Mm-hmm. And I made the switch of only trying to work with open source free software, mm-hmm. even on a client basis. So I wanted just to tell everybody, you guys, if for freelancers and for people that are in business, it's really is worth something to look at. I did a breakdown sheet of my expenses not too long ago, and the amount that I have saved from just swapping over, and just to get people on, so just throwing little seeds. I just want to throw little seeds in places, where I had seen like what I use. For 3D. I'll use Blender, and for tree generations or like nature vegetation and stuff, I use Treeit, and I think it costs like maybe $4, but it's basically like the sapling tree generator add-on from Blender, but instead it's a lot more. It's a dedicated software for creating vegetation. And Cavalry, I heard about Cavalry, but I don't use Cavalry. I use DaVinci and Fusion. Photo.
What is the name? Photo? Sorry, what is the name of the first one? Did you said for the
Treeit? It's called Treeit.
Okay.
And it's created by I think it's a small team or one developer.
Okay. I'm gonna just see if I can find it here so we can see it. So Treeit.
Yeah.
I write that as a tree and then what is
it right after.
It. Okay. Treeit.
And no spaces, I believe. I believe it's just Treeit.
And it's a 3D application, right?
3D
generation, 3D. I already found it.
Yeah.
So it's called Evolve Software Treeit. Okay. So this is also a free 3D. Okay. I'm gonna just put it on the chat, as well for people to see it.
And also Gaea, if
Gaea.
anybody's.
Okay.
If you guys probably heard of that one, maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna just post it here for people to check it out. I'm gonna check all that out as well. I might just make you a bit smaller here, just so.
That's all right.
So
I'm not taking up a lot of space as is.
No, it's fine. It's just so I can make it bigger so people can read it. So what was the name of the other one? Gaea, you said?
Yeah, Gaea. Gaea. I think Gaea.
And that's for 3D as well?
Yeah, that's also 3D for environments of creating. It's basically like Clarice.
Yeah, there you
go. But it's open source. It's free. Oh, wow. Well, I don't want to say it's open source. I'll say it's free. I'll say it's free.
Okay, yeah. It's not. They're not sharing the code or anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I don't expect them to do that.
Right.
Okay. So Sajeel is saying Gaea is paid if you want to, so you can get more out of it if you do paid. Okay.
Yeah, I think with the free version, you only get to rent. You can only export up to 1K. In resolution.
Okay.
But if you want the paid version, you can get up to 4K or whatever resolution that you wanted to.
Okay.
I just wanted to share a little bit more softwares. Just throwing seeds for everybody.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel so silly now. I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when you work, it's like entirely different feel. Like with freelancing, I freelance with commercials and just small brands itself. But when you work in films or with big name commercials and things like that, you kind of have a tunnel vision of this is the set thing to use. Even if you try to stray away from it, you'll be taking money away from the company that you're working for, because they have to now afford for everything and try to remove everybody off. It's just a big hassle for people inside of a different industry.
Yeah. I think it has to do with as well. It has to do as well the fact that when we are working in the industry, and I've been working in the professional industry, and when you go into a company, they just tell you, okay, use this. There it is, and you don't even get to choose anything. When I started working at Nexus and at Jellyfish and at the mill, I mean, I was told, okay, here's the software, go for it. Here's Shake, go for it. Or here's Nuke, go for it. Here's Maya, go for it. You're not going to really look for, inside of such a big company, a company with thousands of people, you're not going to say, oh, can I use Gaea? They're not going to install it. They're not going to even do that. So I think it's a different world for people that work on a large scale company. Although I know that it's different now, of course. Some companies are starting to open up more their mind. And I actually, to be honest, even the mill at the time was quite an open-minded software house. They had a lot of open source stuff going on, but it's I know sometimes it's difficult for people to want to use something they're not allowed or whatever. But this is your experience. What you're talking about is more about becoming completely self-sustained, I guess, because you're saying that you're like a one-man studio, right? That's probably what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because of that, I can afford to take on projects that probably wouldn't pay the expenses of all the subscriptions that you normally would have.
Yeah.
But because I have this kind of setup, I'm able to go less, but also save more.
Yeah, exactly.
If that makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, let's be honest. Imagine if you're just a single person working in productions of $500 or $300 or $1,000, smaller little jobs here and there. Imagine, okay, let me install Nuke, and Nuke is like £5,000 a year. That is just it's just an impossibility. Obviously, for advanced visual effects is fine because you kind of can get enough money to pay it out. But even that, I'm starting to believe that that is hard now because the prices are going down and rates are going down, and a lot of projects are not having the budgets that they used to. Obviously, if at least you can get Nuke Indie, but it's really complicated. I feel like it's these companies, the software companies, need to start thinking, okay, £50 a month or £10. They have to really start bringing down the prices a lot for this to work,
Yeah, and I said this about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago when I first started learning 3D. When I first started learning 3D was when Adobe had just made that switch.
Yeah.
And even at that time, I thought this was going to be the downfall over the years. This is not going to be sustainable for everybody. And I've also noticed this is where the gaming industry is coming to, with turning everything into subscriptions now.
Yeah, exactly.
It sucks.
Exactly.
That we're trying to get into this rental world.
I know. Almost like for you to be alive, you have to pay a subscription. You have to. Here's your subscription to just breathe now. Cartez, I wanted to ask you something. Sajeel is just asking if you can join this call. Is that okay? Can I bring him in?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Call?
Sajeel, come on in.
And I mean, Vinicius, I know you were waiting, but if you can join as well if you want to, but we can make it as a town hall. So Sajeel, do you want to come in? You're happy. I'm happy to bring you in. And Vinicius, if you have another topic, we can talk to you in a minute. But if it's the same topic, then you can join as well. But I'm gonna bring in Sajeel and just let's make a town hall out of this because why not? Are you here, Sajeel? Yeah, you're here. I can see you.
Hey, Hugo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, hello, Sajeel. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Hey, Cartez. Same here. Nice to meet you, buddy. So, quickly, apart from Tweet, there used to be a software called Eon Software View Extreme. People from back in the day would know. It's owned by Bentley Systems now, and it's free with all the library. Create itself, the standalone is free. I think Blender add-on is the paid one. Gaea is pretty good too. What other software? I'm looking at my taskbar at the bottom and just going through it because I use anything and everything that I need. There is one really, really good utility called Sprite UV2. It's available on Steam, the games platform, right? So when you have leaf textures, it will automatically give you a low poly thing with a cutout and alphite and everything. So that's also pretty good.
So, Jel, anything you're
And
saying, because just write it on the chat as well, because then I can I can put
Oh,
the
yeah.
link, because I'm putting the links of everything so people can
Sure thing.
go and check, you know.
Yeah.
This is on
Write them
Steam.
down as well so that we can kind of like.
Yep.
I know I don't believe you can put links. Maybe you can. I'm not sure.
I think I can.
Yeah, I
but
think
Sprite
you can.
V2 is on Steam, so I don't know how. Like, I'll
Oh,
have
it's on
to
Steam. But
start
then
up Steam.
write the name then so that we can look for it.
Yeah, I did in the chat.
Okay. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, you did already before. Where is it? I can't see it.
It's on the YouTube chat.
Okay. I don't see it. It just says this is on Steam. It doesn't say anything else.
It says Sprite V2 about that chat, doesn't it?
Okay, let me just see here if
I'll paste it again. It's okay.
yeah, just write to the. Oh, there you go. Now I see it. Okay, I'm just gonna like open that up and see if I can. So this is called eSoftware, right? Is that what you said? eSoftware.
No, Eon. There used to be Eon. They used it on Avatar. That's how it really got famous. But everyone in matte painting world used to use that. So before Gaea and World Machine and all of them, we used to use View Extreme and View Infinite to create terrains and foliage and skies, and then they would use it for matte paints. So
okay.
that's gone
Nice.
free. Like it's discontinued. That's the only downside. But the company Bentley Systems who bought it, they've made it free for everyone.
Okay, I see.
Nice.
I see. I have it open now here on the screen as well for people to see it, what it is. So, okay, and this is... And so you've been using this in production, Sajeel?
Eon, I have used it when I was at Prime Focus back in the day.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for the suggestions. I'm going to look
Interesting.
into that.
Yeah, but don't use it for rendering from inside it. It's horrible. Like it noise and everything.
Okay.
So,
Noted.
it will come and bite you when you least expect it, because single frames, they're amazing. For matte paints, it's really good, really quick and easy. But if you try to go in motion, oh man, it's bitten me twice. I'm not gonna risk it ever again.
Okay.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Now I'll definitely check that one out too. That sounds like an interesting note. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
and
much for the recommendation.
the Quartz Spinner Gaia one, if you buy it, I'm supposed to make a tutorial. I still haven't, but the new one, it has got things like how you can automate things in Houdini and create variations. It's called PDG or TOPS, anyone who knows that. Similarly, this has got environment variables. So if you're a little bit code savvy, then essentially I tried it to do erosion system. Erosions are amazing in.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
I tried to erode it, but then again, it's eroding over hundreds of years when you drag that slider. So it was really flickery,
Yeah.
but it was really cool to see. But on the other hand, if you are on a weekend and you want to show your boss like 20, 50, 100 variations of a terrain, what could be with different parameters, you can just set it up, fire it, and come back, and you'll have like 100, 200 different terrains sitting on your hard drive, and you just go and select which one you like.
Okay.
Cool, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look that. Look, I'm gonna definitely get the.
Yeah, but
that one too,
that's a paid feature for Gaia, sadly. So
yeah, but
I'm
you gotta
trying
also
to get
understand.
this-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the Steam one, but yeah, I've been switching off from. I've given up on Adobe. I almost lost a job because of that, because I was struggling with Affinity Photo and Illustrator one, Designer, whatever it's called, because I didn't know like coding every single thing. But I've picked up Blender pretty good now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think open source is the way for saving a lot of money for sure.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks for the recommendations.
Cartez, this was
Yep.
your call in. So, does anything else that you want to like discuss or talk about?
Is it possible to do a self plug? You can say no.
No, of course I can. No, of course you can. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm starting a talk show for visual effects and filmmaking as well, and I'm trying to make it very entertaining. And I have coded so much into it for like OBS and streaming, and I wanted to just to be able to broaden out this whole visual effects filmmaking field of everything, because I feel like, Hugo, you are a legend inside of the VFX space, right? And you're kind of like the known name, but there's really not that many people who can talk about it. So I actually want to also start, expanding that out and also having a talk show for visual effects and for filmmaking and for movies, games, pop culture, and all that good stuff.
Cool, man.
And yeah,
well, tell us the link. I know you can't post a link on the chat, but I can. So if you send me,
it's on Carpet Studio. So
send me on the messaging of this call. Send me the link, and then I can post it on the chat, and we can have a look at it as well. So just go to the messages and send me the link, and
okay, so I will send.
You are too kind, by the way, both you and Frey Yoshi as well. I'm not a legend at all. I'm just like trying my best to talk with the community, and that's it. I wish more people would do that. That would be nice. but
yeah.
It is. I understand also people are busy and they do their work, and I also do my work. But it's not everyone also wants to do this as well. So I think
yeah, and I think that's also kind of the thing. What I've noticed with like at least like reading forums and just hearing other people's positions on it. It's like they don't want to go to work and then talk about work on their free time or something like that. But for me, because I don't really work like, your typical 9 to 5 clock in day-to-day office job. I kind of have a lot of freedom. I actually still love to do what I do. I haven't lost that spark or something like that.
Yeah, of course I understand. I'm gonna post it on the chat, on both chats, on Twist and on Twitter. So guys, if you want to check out Carpet Studios, right? Is that Carpet Studios? Yeah. So that's the show. And so have you started the show already, or?
Yeah. So I had my first premiere show, the first premiere episode, but I didn't click the toggle of save your VODs.
Oh,
so
man.
I just lost I lost everything. It was a beautiful run. It was a perfect run. It could not have gone any better. And I was so upset because I was like, this one little toggle, are you kidding me? So now I'm going to be multi-streaming on
This video is brought to you by Upbeat. Stay tuned for more.
I see. Okay,
and that sucks.
I'm definitely going to check out your channel, and I'll post it on the chat as well. Of course, keep in mind, I have not seen his channel, so can't be responsible for anything that you might have here. I have no idea what you have here, but hopefully it's I'm definitely gonna check it out, and I'll hit the subscribe as well, and I'll have a look. So how long have you been doing this?
So when I first started like streaming, and getting into like the space of being in front of the camera, I started like Twitch streaming. My process of learning everything. This was like 5 years ago on a different account, and since I moved, I kind of want to just separate everything and just start freshly new with all the knowledge that I've gained, all the knowledge that I have. Yeah. And it's always been friendly. The exact tone that I'm having right now is the exact same tone I will have everywhere else. But yeah, that's basically where it came from. I've been doing it for years on a different channel, but I kind of just want to start fresh on this one here.
Cool, man. Well, good luck with everything. I've copied it on the chat here. Hopefully you get some more subscribers, and you get some more people watching the videos. And yeah, well, thanks for plugging that in. Is that it? Is that what? Anything else, or is that?
Yeah, I have nothing else. There was somebody else behind me. Was it Vinicius? Was it?
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he's left. So maybe he wants to come back if he wants to.
Okay.
So Vinicius kind of disappeared from the chat. So do you want to come in, Vinicius? And let's do that. Like, so again, thank you so much for chatting with me, Cartez, and
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sajeel, as well for coming in.
Yep, I'm gonna drop up. Thank you.
Cool.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
See you later. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that, guys. So I'm not sure if Vinicius still wants to come in. Do you? Sorry that you waited so long. Do you want to join? If he doesn't want to come in, I could do it after. after a break. We could do that, but I'm gonna wait to see if he wants to join. So that's good, Sajeel. Go and eat. Okay, so he's back. So I'm gonna bring them in, and then we'll do the break after that. Okay, cool. Here we are. So apologies for the delay, Vinicius. And Andre, I guess that's, yeah, I didn't saw your name first, so it was just an A. Now I can see you're called Andre.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Do you want me to put your webcam? Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you mind or no? Not a problem?
I don't mind. It's
okay, cool. So I'll do that real quick, and just give me a second. Yeah, there you go. So just a second. So that would be that, and that would be this. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, and sorry for the wait, my friend. So Andre, tell me things about yourself, and let me know.
I'm a fresh and new editor in this field. So I started this field in my life 2 years ago.
Cool.
I bought a course also, and I started practicing editing, but I remember that you mentioned about the software that we use. I always with the After Effects, and when I use and I need to refresh my computer and install is Blender. I saw it's a very useful tool also, gathering with the After Effects both. So, and it's things that I'm struggling up to build the machine to edit, like
you mean
mastermind computer.
You mean so is that the topic or the question you want to ask? Is that about the machine? Is that what you mean?
Yes. And how this is possible to improve and enhance the machine with these softwares? How do you see this question?
Well, I guess so. If you're, if sorry if I misunderstood, but you're asking what type of machine or what type of things you can upgrade on your machine to use on this industry. Is that what you mean, isn't it?
Yeah. What's the machine?
So what type of machine, like what are you using right now? Are you running a Windows machine? Are you running a Mac machine, a Linux machine? What are you running right now?
Windows.
Notebook. A notebook. So you're using a laptop right now? Yeah. And your objective is to just, you said that you were an editor, and you want to also do 3D and compositing, or only doing editing? What is your final goal?
I understood that I need to have something about 3D.
Yeah.
Also.
Okay, but is that because you want to become a 3D artist, or you are already an editor right now, aren't you?
It's because I saw the union about relate with After Effects and the Blender, for example.
You saw the what? Sorry.
The connection between these softwares that I can use.
Okay. But what I'm asking you, Andre, is what do you want to do? Do you want to be a 3D artist? Is that your objective at the end?
Yes, because I'm focusing in promo videos.
Promo videos. Okay.
Yes.
So that means that, and are you like a one-man show? You're trying to do everything on those production and those promo videos?
Yeah, generally the edition and VFX and 3D, but I'm focused on this kind of stuff because now it's me by myself producing, doing stuff.
I see. Well, I mean, of course, obviously, it's a very big conversation, and it could be a lot of topics involved on this. But a computer for visual effects, it really is something that depends really on exactly what you're going to do. But I'm going to give you some broad strokes and some ideas, and you can always come back to me and ask me again. You mentioned that you were my student. Is that what you meant? No.
No.
No, okay. I thought you said for a moment that you were a student. I couldn't remember. So in terms of a computer for visual effects and that you can use for 3D and that you can use for compositing and for editorial, I would say that without a doubt, if you're running a Windows machine, the most important thing for you to really focus your attention is to have a substantial amount of RAM on the computer. The reason for that is because, for example, inside of Nuke, you need quite a lot of RAM and memory to run really large composites. 3D also requires a lot of RAM. So above all, I always prioritize having a lot of RAM. And in my career, I've always bought more RAM than I needed. So in the beginning of my career, people were usually having 252, 56 megabytes of RAM, and I would have 512. And then when we moved on to like having 8 gigs of RAM, I would have 16. I always try to have as much RAM as possible so that I don't run out of memory on my computer. And so currently, I know it's not a viable for a thing for a lot of people that I'm running 360 gigs of RAM. That's about a lot of RAM. But I would say for you to effectively do 4K with 3D and visual effects, I really think these days you need at least 128 gigs of RAM. I don't think, of course, you could still do it with 64, but I don't think you can do it with less. I think 16 is out of the question already. 32 is really hard to work in really heavy shots. But at least have 64 of RAM. And if you can get 128, even better. That's what I would suggest in terms of memory and RAM on a computer that would be built for 3D. And then the second most important thing that I would invest the money on is on a really powerful graphic card. And the graphic card should really be a graphic card that has the most amount of VRAM, which is the memory of the card, as possible, because the VRAM is really the most important part of the card, because it's the amount of buffer image and the amount of pixels you can push on the card. And so if you have a graphic card that only has 8 gigs, that's going to be more tricky if you have, for example, a card that has 10, 12, or 16. So I would try my best to try to at least find a graphic card, a dedicated NVIDIA graphic card with at least 12 gigs of VRAM. If you can find one with 16, that would be even better, or more. Obviously, I have a much more extreme setup. I have 2 graphic cards running 64 gigs of VRAM each, but that my example is very extreme. I don't believe you need to buy that much. That's because I use very heavy scenes. But I think Peter J here is having a good, he says a good example. And NVIDIA for 4080 is a good idea, for example. I think Peter is actually saying his entire setup there. So I would definitely say that memory on the computer and a powerful NVIDIA graphic card is the most important aspect that you should focus on. And then, last but not least, I would really say that the CPU, which is to process the thing, would be maybe the third thing that I would focus on. And then, everything is important, Andre. Everything is important, of course. But so you need to, of course, pick your battles and try to get the most effective computer you can get. But it's also very important to have a relatively fast hard drive for you to cache your renders and to cache your editorial and to do that as well. So having a dedicated, it's very important for you to consider that to have 2 separate hard drives, one just for the OS and one just for caching. It's really important to separate these 2 things. So that it doesn't slow down the machine. So, for example, you could have a relatively cheap hard drive for the OS, for the Mac, for the operating system, but then try to invest on a very fast NVMe, hard drive to run the caching and to run the temporary renders and to run your editorials as fast as you can. So I feel everything is important, but you need to pick what you can afford, of course. And you don't need to buy everything in one go. You could, you know, buy stuff now and keep upgrading. You know, it's that would be my way to do it, you know. But the reason I was mentioning to buy as much RAM and to much more powerful, and that tends to be what I do. Whenever I'm buying something, a new computer, I always buy. I look at the specs and then I think about them and I think, okay, I'm gonna do twice as those specs. So if someone is telling me that, okay, you should have 32 gigs of RAM, then I put 64. If someone tells me 128, I put 256. The reason for that is because I want my computer to last a long time. And so when I bought my computer, for example, my last computer, the one that I bought now, the one I'm running right now, which is a Mac Pro 2019, it's already 6 years old. But it's so powerful that I don't need a new one because I bought so much power at the time when I bought it. And so investing on doubling always your power is a really good way of making the computer last a much longer time, you know, especially with more RAM and more VRAM as well. So I hope that helps. Like, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Does that help, Andre?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Cool. Any other questions? Go for it.
No, not for now. Thank you. I just got worried about because I think when I am rotoscoping something during the edition, I understand and I see the computer needs about it.
What are the specs of the computer that you're running right now? Do you know?
Oh, not from memory, but it's a Dell Inspiron.
So it's a laptop, right? You said?
It's a Dell.
A Dell, but it's a desktop or a laptop?
Laptop.
A laptop. And do you know if it has a dedicated graphic card or is it embedded in the motherboard? Do you know that?
I think it's embedded.
Okay. So that's going to be something that you want to consider, having a dedicated graphic card. So for my advice to you would be, if you really want to do 3D, I would advise you to get a desktop machine. The reason for that is because the laptop could overheat and really melt because you're rendering 3D. And also the laptop is going to be quite weak in terms of upgrading. You can't really upgrade with new cards or new graphic cards or more memory. But if you cannot do a desktop, if you really need to be portable, because some people really need to travel, you know, they need to travel and they need to have a laptop, then there are options out there. You could either buy a very, very powerful dedicated GPU laptop on Windows, or you could look into Mac laptops because they are so powerful as well. If you buy an M2 chip or if you buy an M3 chip, there are MacBook Pros that are incredibly powerful to do all those things. But if you want to focus in 3D, you might want to consider Windows instead of Mac. But that's why I'm mentioning. But if you want to do a mix of things, then Mac might be a good solution, because a Mac is quite good at a lot of things, but Windows is definitely better for 3D. And so in Linux as well. Linux is also very good for 3D. So I would definitely consider, if you want to do a lot of 3D, you should probably think about upgrading what you have, either to a laptop that has a dedicated graphic card or to a desktop that would be open and that you could upgrade with time. So you could put a new graphic card or more memory, and you basically could keep upgrading it over the years, you know?
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah. That's it, really. I mean, unless you have more things. There's quite a lot of people on the chat also giving comments and giving suggestions and giving like some specs of what they have, and you know, so feel free to check that out as well.
I will check.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Andre. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Cool. So now I think we're going to do a break. As you guys know, I always try to have a responsible stream. And so we'll do a break, and then we come back after the break, and hopefully we have some more callers. It's been a great session today, a very different session from the other sessions we had before, because in the past we've talked a lot about AI. It's always AI. We always talk about AI on every call. So I really liked it today. For some reason, we ended up, well, it was because of Peter, really, but for some reason we started really going into open source software and free software, and we talked about a lot about that. And also now with Andre, we talked a lot about the specs for a computer for 3D as well. So I really like what we've done today. We've talked about really different topics that we usually do on the radio show. And so always consider this, guys. Like, when you come into the radio show, we can talk about anything. And I am very, very technical with computers. And so if you guys have questions about that, like Andrea had, I know a lot about graphic cards. I know a lot about memory and computers and setting up computers. I used to build computers when I was younger, so I know a lot about that. And I know a lot about pipeline. And so if you have technical questions like this, feel free to ask them. I'm happy to try to answer as best as I can and go through those things and go through settings and give advices and things like that. So it's really cool. Cool. So I'm going to do a break then. During the break, you'll see some commercials. They are not ads because no one paying them for us. So I'm basically just playing the ads from my own channel. So I'm playing an ad for my online course, if you're interested. I'm also going to play an ad for Anna's book, my wife, The Green Recipes for All, which is a vegan and vegetarian book, if you're interested as well. I'm also going to play an ad for the Before and Afters magazine as well. We'll be offline for 10 minutes as usual. You can stick around and watch the ads if you want. If you don't want to watch the ads, just put a timer for 10 minutes and we'll be back in exactly 10 minutes from now. That's the whole point of this. So, but yeah, if you are interested on supporting the show, maybe have a think about anything that is shown during this ad break as well. So I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for sticking around. We still have the giveaway as well. So I'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back, and I'll see you all very soon.
Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean food. Inside you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time.
Are you interested in learning compositing? My Nuke course is currently 50% off. Join today to have access to 150 pre-recorded classes, 50 hours of training, using real production assets covering industry standard techniques with over 200 gigs of showreel material and access to a private Discord channel with over 2,300 students. This course is endorsed by Foundry and has access to a Foundry student license paid separately. Join today at hugosdesk.myshopify.com.
Befores and Afters magazine is the monthly print mag from VFX journalist Ian Fales. Go in-depth on key visual effects topics with major VFX supervisors, artists and studios. Each issue covers a different area like creature animation, miniatures, on-set VFX and VFX tools. Find your copy at beforesandafters.com/magazine.
Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean food. Inside you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time.
Are you interested in learning compositing? My Nuke course is currently 50% off. Join today to have access to 150 pre-recorded classes, 50 hours of training, using real production assets covering industry standard techniques with over 200 gigs of showreel material and access to a private Discord channel with over 2,300 students. This course is endorsed by Foundry and has access to a Foundry student license paid separately. Join today at hugosdesk.myshopify.com.
Befores and Afters magazine is the monthly print mag from VFX journalist Ian Fales. Go in-depth on key visual effects topics with major VFX supervisors, artists and studios. Each issue covers a different area like creature animation, miniatures, on-set VFX and VFX tools. Find your copy at beforesandafters.com/magazine.
Okay, we are back now. So again, thank you so much for all of you who've been sticking around as well. So yeah, let's just continue this. We still have more people to join. I'm sure if we don't have people to join, we can wrap it. Oh, sorry. I forgot to leave to remove the alert, the 10-minute alert. If we don't have anyone to join, of course, we can always wrap up and do the giveaway. But if anyone else still wants to join the call, we can still do 1 or 2 more people. We've been running for an hour and 20 minutes, and so far we've been having... obviously, as I always do, I'm quite thirsty. It's quite warm here in the UK, so I brought my green cola. As I always say, I'm not sponsored by green cola at all, but I always bring it. It's really one of my favorite drinks, because it's a more organic cola, which doesn't have those acids that really are nasty for your teeth. And so that's why I drink it instead of regular cola. So green cola, if you're listening, please become a subscriber. Please become a sponsor. Let's open it up. Ah, that's nice. I love it. It's really cold and nice as well. Damn, that's cold. Anyway. Okay, does anyone else wants to join? If no one else wants to join, we can wrap up for today. But anyone would like to give a stab at submitting a topic, anything at all? You saw that we already talked about open source. We talked about free softwares today. Of course, don't forget you can always rewatch the stream as well. So I'm going to put some chapters as well with everyone involved and also all the topics. But so far we've talked about open source. We talked about free softwares and how you can use them instead of buying expensive softwares. We also talked about specs for 3D rendering. And so it's been a great session. And so if anyone else has any other topic, you can join. I've posted the link on both chats. I have if I both post the link on Shoutout, YouTube, and on Twitch as well. Sajeel is asking if I'm streaming games yet. No, I'm not. So Sajeel, I am stuck now with games. I've been playing Returnal, which is a PlayStation 5 game from Housemarque, and I've been playing it I've played now 110 hours so far. I finished the game finally. It's the most difficult game I've ever played in my life. It's been horribly difficult. But I finished it. But now I'm trying to get the Platinum trophy, and it is so difficult to get the Platinum because the game is randomized. And so I only have 2 trophies to go. One trophy is for the daily challenge, which every day I have to do a challenge. It's quite hard. And so I haven't really managed to do. I think I've done like maybe 50 days, and every day I try it and I never really got it. But then the other trophy that is missing is there's 4 items that I cannot find on one of the levels on the Beyond tree, which is the desert biome, because the game is randomized. Because the game, every time you play, the game is completely randomized. I just have not found those 4 things, and I've finished the game already a month ago. And I've been playing every day, and I try. So it's been now 30 times that I played the game on that level, and I cannot find the 4 items because it's randomized. So they might never show up, or they might show up a year from now. So it's so frustrating because I'm 98% done with the trophies, and I only have 2% finished to do the trophies. And I really don't want to let the game go without finishing it completely. And so that's what I'm playing, and that's why I haven't been streaming, because I wasn't going to be... No, you can't do a walkthrough. It's a randomized game. So every time you play the game is different. And so there is no walkthrough. That's the thing. The game is a randomized website. Like every time you play a level, the level is going to be different. Obviously, the levels are going to be similar sometimes, but the locations of things are always random, and so you cannot use a walkthrough. No, you can't. That's why the game is so difficult. So that's why I haven't been streaming it, because I wasn't gonna stream for 150 hours this game, and I was gonna lose all my subscribers if I did that. So I'll be back. The next game I'm gonna play is Death Stranding 2. That's gonna be my next big game, which comes out in June. So hopefully I can finish Returnal. Having said this, Returnal is an amazing game. It's one of my favorite games of all times. It's just that it's so infuriating with these 2 trophies that are left. So yeah, I know King Come Deliverance looks good. I am looking at it, but maybe, I don't know, I am so stuck with Returnal. I don't think I'm going to play anything until... And after this, I'm going to clear my schedule to just play Death Stranding 2, just like I did with Death Stranding 1. When Death Stranding 1 came out, I played the whole thing in a row in like 9 days. And didn't stop until the game was finished because it was so good. So I probably will do the same as well. Maybe I'll stream that. If you guys want to see that, I'll stream it. I'm a bit worried about losing a lot of subscribers if I streamed it, but we'll see. So, I know, Gran Turismo is the same thing. It's so hard for you to get the trophies as well. It's the same thing as well. Okay, so I did have a question. No one is showing up on the call, so we might wrap up. But don't forget that you can still call in to the show if you want to. It's not a problem. But I'll answer some of the questions I have here. So Adam Conlon, Adam asks, what is your experience with virtual production and impressions of Nuke Stage? So I have not used Nuke Stage yet because I signed up for the beta, signed up for the early access, never got it. So I don't have access to Nuke Stage. They didn't give me access. I got an email from Foundry saying that I will get it soon, but I have not tried it. Now, from virtual production, I've done streams about this, about the Zeiss project I did last year, and we used virtual production. Virtual production was incredibly hard. It was incredibly difficult to get something that would work. It took ages to kind of like get it to work. And this is just because the productions really need to do different methodologies for virtual production. You need to prep so much more before you do the shoot. And I think when we did this, we were not prepped enough to do this commercial in virtual production. And I think that was the problem. In hindsight, if I was going to do it now, I would have given, we had like 1 day of pre-production. I would have given at least 5 days of pre-production so we could at least test all the virtual production before we went. So it was really difficult. So I think virtual production is cool and it's nice, but I think that's one of the reasons why it's not as used as people think it is, because it's just a bit too expensive per day as well. You're talking about the cheapest you can find is like £10,000 a day on a studio, or maybe 15 to 20. It could become ridiculously expensive because it requires so much gear, and it requires so many technicians to run it. So I don't know. I didn't really enjoy virtual production. I thought it was cool. The result was good, and it's very impressive when you're there, but the methodology to get there is really difficult, and I didn't think it's streamlined at all. So I'm really hoping that maybe Nuke Stage can fix that. So maybe Nuke Stage is the answer. I hope so. I haven't tried it, but I will. You guys will be the first to know when I try it. I'm sure I will talk about it soon. Okay, so someone else is asking. Marcel asks, why don't you try to work for a VFX film company as a senior compositor? So Marcel, I've been there, done that. I've been senior compositors in a lot of companies in the past. You need to remember that I've been working for 25 years. And so I have my own company now. I do my own projects. I don't really want to go back to a company. I have my own company. And so I do my own projects. I have my commercials that I sometimes direct. I have some cinematics that I sometimes direct. I have some small jobs that I do here and there. I much prefer to have my own company, and I prefer to run things as I want than working for someone else. And so as much as it's nice to, yes, I could have worked as a senior compositor on any company I wanted to, because I have enough knowledge to be hired on any of these companies. And I've been approached multiple times to come in by companies, but I just don't want to do that anymore. I left the big companies in 2015 because I've done almost 10 years of working in big companies, including Nexus, Jellyfish, and The Mill, and Sony PlayStation. I just felt that I was working for them and not working for myself as an artist. And so I really am glad I've done it. You know, I'm really happy that I've went through that stage, and I've learned a lot, and I would not be the artist I am today if I wouldn't have been a senior on those companies. But now that I'm older, you know, I'm 47 years old now. Now that I'm older and I work from home, and I like working from home, I like having my own schedule, I like having my own company and doing my own things, I don't think it's compatible anymore with my lifestyle. I used to be on big companies when I was 20 and 30 years old. Now that I'm almost 50, I'm 47, I don't believe it's compatible with me of kind of going back and having a 9 to 7 job and answering to clients and having them there next to you. And I don't know, I just feel that I'm too old for those things. I feel like I've worked so much to have my own company. I prefer to supervise and direct and composite my own things. You know, I just feel that's the way I feel now. And of course that means that I will end up working in smaller productions and productions that are not as high budget as the ones that I used to do when I was at the Mill or at Sony. But the downside is that, of course, but the upside is that you have a much more balanced life, and I can work in more creative things, and I can do my own projects. And I feel like now with my age, I just feel that that's what I want to do, you know. So, thanks so much for saying that, Fran Yoshi. I wish I was 45. I'm not. No, I'm 47. So I as much as I appreciate that you, much as you appreciate that you're saying that. Oh, look at that. Your age and my father age is the same. Oh my God, I could be your father then, I guess. That's what you're saying, right? So, let's see here. So, and also don't forget, guys, that I work a lot as a VFX supervisor as well. So if you work in a company, you're not really going to be a supervisor very often. It's very few times that you get hired to do that. So I don't know. I just feel that maybe someday I will come back to a company, but I don't think it's going to work for me anymore. I think some people used to. Like some people, I know some people love that they, you know, that they love being in a company and they really love to grow inside the company. I just don't feel like I have that nature anymore. I don't have that drive anymore. I don't really maybe it was because I was disappointed so many times by companies, and I don't know, I worked during the time. I've been on those companies during a really hard time where overworking was a problem and people were working too late and pushed to the limit, and there wasn't really any protections whatsoever 10 years ago than they are now. So I think things have changed a lot. And so perhaps if I was on a company now, you know, maybe it would have been different, maybe. So yeah, so that's to answer your question. That's why. So. And don't forget also, if I worked on a company, I wouldn't be able to do these streams. And I wouldn't be able to do my Nuke course, and I wouldn't be able to do tutorials, and I wouldn't be able to do all these streams and show reviews. I wouldn't have time. You know, so I just feel like that I enjoy giving back to the community and doing other things as well. That's kind of how I am. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap up anyway. No one is calling. No one is coming in. So we had a really nice flow anyway. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 people that call in, which is usually what we have. So I would really want to thank Peter for calling in. I would like to thank Cartez for calling in, Sajeel for calling in, and Andre for calling in. Thank you so much. I will post some chapters for all the topics. And so I will post, I will update this video once it's a VOD tomorrow. I will put all the VOD links and everything on it. In the meantime, let's do the giveaway and then let's just wrap this up. So I'm going to put the giveaway again on the chat here. Marcel is following up the question saying, I'm just asking because I still study VFX as a college student, and I was wondering how can I make it into a bigger company. So Marcel, I really advise you to go to a big company. I don't believe my career would ever be successful as it is now, because it was because I was on those companies that I got to be successful. I think those companies are incredibly important for the development. But I really think that being in a big company is something for a younger person to do, because that is when you're starting up. That's when you have more time and you don't have a family and you just have a different tempo and you have friends and younger people. You go out and you go to the disco and you go to the bar and you go. It's just a different life. And I'm not doing that life anymore. So I think that's why. But I really would recommend you to go and to do that, because I think it's important for people to do that. Anyway, so let's talk about this. This is the giveaway, so I'm just gonna give you guys a bit of time to put up the link. Remember, this is for my new course. If anyone wants to still join the giveaway, they can still do that. While I'm waiting for people, let me just see how many people have joined in the giveaway. Let's have a look. So I have 30 entries, which is good. It's good. It's very good. So we have 30 people potentially to earn this Nuke course. If anyone wants to still, if you're already my student, remember I can always give you the workshops, or I can give you my new courses as well. But we'll be back next week. Don't worry, we'll be back next week again. I'm returning with showreel reviews again, and also workshops, and there's a lot of things. Just keep an eye on my social media. I know I'm a bit inconstant. I don't really have a fixed schedule, but just keep in mind that I try my best to stream every week when I can. Sometimes I'm a bit too tired, but just keep an eye on my social media, and you'll see when they pop up as well. In the meantime, while we're waiting for people to sign up for the giveaway, I just wanted to do something new, which I've never done in the streams before. I really wanted to thank my Patreons, because without them, these streams would not be possible. So I first wanted to personally thank my producer level Patreons. And so these are people that have been supporting my show for a long time, and they are the higher tier of my Patreon. And so I can't thank them enough. And so I would like to personally thank, while I'm waiting for people to sign up to the giveaway, I'll just say that I would like to personally thank Adrian, Ben, Daniel, Felix, Hiroshi, Kasuma, Perti, Pete, Peter, there's 3 Peters, and Viz Left Fig as well. So I can't thank you all enough for being a high tier Patreon producer level on Hugo's Desk. Can't thank you enough. It's been amazing to have your support. Some of you have been supporting the channel for years. So I literally couldn't have done these streams without you. Now, of course, I also have a lot of other Patreons. These are the top tier Patreons. I also have an enormous amount of members from YouTube, and also Patreon members as well. Obviously, I'm not going to read all their names out loud because it's going to take a while for me to do that. Maybe I'll consider doing that in the future, but I think that's going to take too long. But I'll just leave them here on the screen. These are my low tier Patreons. They are, of course, the supporters of the show on the lower tiers. And again, once again, I could not do the show without your support. Can't thank you enough for all of you. There are 2 tiers on my Patreon. One tier is to get the name on the credits, which is this tier, which basically you get your name on the credits on the videos like you're doing now. Well, like you're doing now. The other tier, the producer level that you saw, is the one that people can submit suggestions, they can submit topics, they can submit videos, they can talk to me more directly as well. So I can't thank you enough. I think it's been on screen for a while now, so I think hopefully people had the time to read the text and to also join me to thank them for doing it. While I'll leave them on the screen, I'm going to do the giveaway anyway. And so I'll do the winners. Let's see here. Draw the winner and see what happens here. Let's see here. The stream is not over, no. I'm just doing the giveaway. Did it crash? Is that what you're asking me? Maybe it crashed. Did it crash? No, I don't think it crashed. I can see it's still running here. No, it's not crashed. It's here. I can see it. Yes, giveaway is next. So let's see here who won the giveaway. So this is going to be... Okay, let's see if I can write this name down. Okay, so winner of the Nuke course is... I just need to remove the email because I can't really show the email of the person, so I'm just gonna like remove that. So winner is I'm gonna just like do that, put it on both chats. Okay, the winner is Deepak Yadav. You've won my Nuke course. Hopefully you're here and I can thank you in person. Hopefully you're here. Are you here? Say hello to the chat if you're here. I haven't seen your name though on the... I've not seen your name on the chat, but maybe, you know, you never know. Sometimes people have strange and different names as well. So, oh yeah, cool. Now I see you. Congratulations, my friend. You've won my Nuke course. So I'll be in touch soon to give you the login. And congratulations, yeah. So I can't wait for you to have access to my classes. I wanted to remind everyone that I already posted this on my students' Discord channel, but I am currently upgrading and updating the course. So the course is now being fully revisited and I'm updating it with classes for Nuke 16 now. So it's going to become a very different course. I am leaving the old classes anyway, so people can still watch the old classes, but you can watch the new updated classes as well to help you dive into the new features of Nuke 16. I kind of feel that Nuke 16 has changed so much that I kind of had to do that. And so, yeah, Nuke 16 has a lot of differences. It has a lot of new stuff and a lot of new pipeline methodology, and so that's why I felt that I had to redo the course, because the new, I think Nuke 16 is a really a big change. I don't believe Nuke has changed as dramatically as it did. This is the same. It reminds me the change from Nuke 8 to 9 and Nuke 9 to 10. Those were massive shifts as well, and also the change from Nuke 6 to 7. That was a massive shift as well. So no, sorry, I meant to say 4 to 5. That was a massive change as well. So I think that's as substantial as it is now. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you so much to my Patreons and my supporters and my members. I couldn't do this stream without you. I'll be back next week. Keep an eye on my social media. It's going to be a bit of a luck of the draw. Maybe it will be show reviews. Maybe it will be compositing. Maybe it will be the radio show. I will be back next week with one of them, or maybe two. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much. I really wanted to thank all the 227 people that watched today. We had 227 people on YouTube watching. And on Twitch, we had 31 people. So we had a total of 250 people watching today. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic. Couldn't thank you enough. And I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.